Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, April 12th, and I have a phone call this morning. So, I was supposed to have an appointment to follow up with my GI end of this month. I got a phone call this week saying that something was showing up in my labs, and my GI wanted to discuss it with me. And she squeezed me in for today. So I'll be receiving a phone call, and honestly, I'm kind of nervous because, um, first off, I like having my husband here for important medical appointments, and when it's a phone call, especially one like this, she wasn't able to book me a specific time. It was kind of just keep your morning open, and so he can't take off the entire morning to wait for a phone call with me, versus the other one was going to be in person, so he would have booked off and come with me. And so I'm a little bit nervous to try to do the entire appointment by myself, but I also prefer the phone call appointments. I just feel like there's less, it feels less confrontational to me, and I'm a very non-confrontational person, and so sometimes I struggle with in-person appointments because I don't want to disagree with my doctor, but there have been many times when I've had to, and that's difficult for me. But I need to get what is best for my body, and so advocating sometimes is easier over the phone. So I sat down with my husband last night and we wrote out everything that we need to discuss with my GI, and I will update you after my phone call. Here we are again in the same spot, but hours later. I'm really frustrated, and I don't even really know how to communicate how the appointment went, if that makes sense. Because, okay, so first off, the reason why she was calling me was confusing because what I heard from the receptionist was there was something in my lab work that she wanted to discuss. But she didn't discuss any lab work, so that's kind of confusing. And so basically, she did want to discuss this doctor in the States and males and stuff like that. And so there is some positive things there. So she doesn't want me to have to go to the States for all this stuff, which is great. So she's gonna do what she can to refer me to different doctors and specialists that can do the testing out here. But at the same time, she's telling me, well, you've never told me that you had any pain. And I'm like, well, I'm really bad at articulating my symptoms, especially over the phone, and especially when I don't get to see you very often. And when I started seeing her, my nausea and fullness was my biggest symptom, and now pain is my biggest symptom. And so that it's been very confusing for me to try to communicate what's going on, especially when you have so many conditions that are causing you pain. You don't know what is attributed to what. So that was confusing. And so the people that she's talked to all think that it's not mouse. And I'm like, you know what? You haven't even run the testing for it. So, secondly, she discussed my barium swallow, which was normal. So then she's like, you don't have SMAS. And I'm like, okay, well, I would like to look into that further as well, because different specialists will say different things, because just because my barium is going through my intestines doesn't mean that I can eat. So, clearly my angles and measurements are showing SMAS, and so it's worth looking into further. And so hopefully we can look into that further. And then I've been struggling really, really hard with eating and hydrating, to the point where I'm like actually hardly taking in anything at all. And so I've been working with her to try and get clearance for a feeding tube. And she's like, basically, the only way you would be able to get that is if you walked into an ER, hope they admit you, and then they'll observe whether or not you need one. And I'm like, you can't just admit me for one? And she's like, no, because I don't place those. So she's going to be looking into talking with some of her other doctors that do place pegs so that I at least know what hospital to go to. Like, my hospital in my city would laugh at me if I showed up for that purpose. And so I'm just trying to figure out where I can go, where I know I will be admitted for a feeding tube purpose, because I am bedbound, unfortunately. Like, those of you who actually know me and see me out, that's a really, really good day. And I was in bed leading up to that event, and I will be in bed after that event. And so really, I can't do anything. I can't function, I can't eat, I can't hydrate, I can't go to very many events. When I do, they just absolutely wreck me. And so I'm feeling very frustrated, and I'm sorry that I'm masking my true feelings about this. The brain fog honestly makes it hard for me to articulate what I'm feeling, and I don't like to record myself in those moments of receiving the news or like needing time and space to process. And I think that's okay, because I ultimately get to choose what I share here online, and I needed space to figure that out, because we've been desperately trying to figure out a way to get proper nutrition for months, and a way to get these tests done for this doctor in the States for months. And so I'm really frustrated. Like, don't let my face or emotional presentation like trick you, because I'm very frustrated. But this is unfortunately my reality living in a very small Canadian city. I'm not mad at my doctor, to make that clear. She has been very helpful, and she has been doing everything she can to try to get me referrals and tests and everything like that. But when you're complex, it's hard to come up with a plan for your care, because people just don't know what to do with you. And that's very frustrating. And so it's not my doctors that I'm mad at, it's the system, because we need a better system. People like me should not have to go this long without nutrition and hydration. I shouldn't have to just walk up to the ER and hope that they'll admit me and hope that I'll be seen as bad enough for a feeding tube. That shouldn't be the case. My doctor should be able to make that call, not some random doctor that has seen me for like 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm pretty frustrated with the system, and I'm choosing to document my journey here on YouTube for other people in my situation, especially people in Canada who have complex diseases, who are working to get answers. I couldn't find anybody online like that, and so this is my way of helping you figure out the process of how the medical system works here in Canada. Because I honestly was pretty naive before this all started, and I think people need to be made aware of the malfunctions in our medical system, but not that I'm calling out my doctors. It's the system that we need to fix. And so I'm just kind of stuck at the moment, but I'm going to continue to just pray through it and do what I can on my end to keep my body up and running. I'm actually just on my way out the door. It doesn't look like it. I'm trying to work my way out the door to go. My arm is getting tired. I'm working my way out the door to go pick up my prescription for a POTS medication that I just ran out of, and to go pick up some protein drinks and some other things that I need to keep my body running until we can figure out something more permanent. So, yeah, I will continue to keep you updated with how this process is going. This is just a setback, but it's not a complete setback. Like I said, my doctor is sending me 2 different doctors, so referring me out 2 different doctors. One of them is someone who could potentially do the celiac plexus block. The other one is someone who has been in Mal's surgeries and knows what it looks like. And so he might be able to do further testing, like my Doppler ultrasound or a CT angiogram, something to look further into Mal's. And so that is also good. And then she did originally refer me to a urologist, but the urologist said that I should be referred to a vascular surgeon, and so I will be referred to a vascular surgeon as well. So those are all forward-moving things that I needed out of this appointment, and now I just have to fight the system to actually get these tests when I am referred. And so right now, my main focus is just trying to keep myself hydrated and to try and get in some semblance of nutrition and just try to keep going. Hello, I technically already said goodbye, but I decided grocery haul. Yes, I'm sitting on the floor because I just can't be standing or even sitting on a bar stool right now because this bag was too heavy. So, let me show you the things that I got to try to tide me over until we can get something figured out. People are texting me. Okay, so Jell-O. Another Jell-O. Protein drinks. These ones I have not tried, but they are gluten-free and dairy-free. Have 16 grams of protein. I'm actually gonna try one. What the heck? Guys, these are expired. Okay, I'm returning those. And those were expired. Would you look at that? I'm not gonna try those with you. Prescription. I'm so tired. But anyways, I am gonna try these. I have tried so many different protein drinks, but I'm desperate. So, I'm gonna try that brand to see how we do. And then, I have not done this before, but I went to the baby section and I bought some things. I bought, this one I already opened, but I bought these like Amara organic smoothie melts. They're like gluten and dairy free, and they're actually not too bad. It's just something to like nibble on when I feel like nibbling. So I bought those. I bought a bunch of different baby foods. I got the banana, apple, and mango with coconut milk. I bought pear. I bought tropical green smoothie and baked apple, cinnamon, and chia. They are also gluten-free and dairy-free. And why did I go with baby food, you may be wondering? Because there's more selection and there's higher calories in like a packet like this versus just a normal applesauce. So these have like protein and fat in them versus an applesauce does not have stuff like that. So, and then I bought Propel because this is my favorite electrolyte drink right now because I haven't been tolerating, so I tried out Liquid IV and I don't like it. I've done BioSteel in the past, but I haven't been tolerating it, and I did Propel / Gatorade, and I seem to be doing well with that. I am probably one of the only POTS people that I know who doesn't do well with lots of sodium all at once, and so having smaller amounts of sodium as I need it is better for me. And then I just bought cream cheese for a meal that I'm making for Matt and my bloat gummies. I'm gonna go lie down now. So I'm probably just gonna close out this video here. I'm sorry if it's like super rambly, all over the place, and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like I said, my brain fog is really, really bad, which is from my lack of nutrition, my POTS being out of whack, lack of hydration, and just extreme fatigue. And so bear with me while we try to figure things out. But don't forget to give this video a like to raise awareness for MALS and for other conditions that are complex. And if you would like to follow along on this journey, maybe you're on your own journey and just want someone who's in the same boat, then I'd highly encourage you to subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!